Blog Talk Radio.
Love Life Heart Confessions with intuitive heart healer, the Love Guru, Blaire Allison. Blaire can be found on the web at loveguru.net. And now your host, Blaire Allison.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Today we are talking about getting back out there, getting back in the dating scene, and moreover, getting back out there as in a relationship. So if you have not been in a relationship in a really long time, this show is for you. Now, I'm not talking about okay, I haven't gone on a date in a little bit, or, maybe it's a thing that you do go on some casual dates. I'm not talking about that either. I'm talking about getting into an actual relationship. Maybe, you got divorced some years ago and you just have not been in the mood to deal with men or to deal with women. So, the years go by and no relationship, and then you think, okay, well, why do I even bother? Who even needs a man? Who needs a woman? I could do it on my own. And, I hear this all the time. Maybe you were widowed when you were younger too, and you've just never gotten back out there. And I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot when I'm hanging out, walking around town, meeting women in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s, that it's just kind of like, hey, I had this bad relationship, and I'm in this groove of doing my own routine, having my own space. I don't have to check in with anybody. I don't have to ask anyone's permission to do things. I like my freedom. And you know what? I don't know if a relationship really works for me. Some of my students, what I hear from is like, hey, bad things happen in my relationship, things that really hurt me. And I don't trust myself getting back into another relationship, attracting a different type of guy or a different type of girl, or starting a different type of relationship. And what happens is maybe you realize it, maybe you don't, there ends up being a lot of fear surrounding the whole getting into a relationship. And then again, years go by and you are not in a relationship. And then more years go by and you say, what's the point? Or maybe you want to get back out there, but you're just not even sure how to do it because so much has changed and whatever. So you are who I am speaking to today, and I'm here to help you today. I'm going to give you some information. I'm also going to invite you to check out this new program that I have, which is called Getting Back Out There Program. You can find details on my website, which is loveguru.net, and the link is on the show page, so you can check it out there. Basically what this is that, if you're not in a relationship, you are going against the flow of the universe, because it's really a natural state for us to form relationships. As much as many of us go along through life being solo, and yes, we are whole and complete being with ourselves, so we don't need someone to complete us, but with all that said, we are meant to be in a relationship in this lifetime. You are meant to be in partnership. And if you're not, then there's something that is a little bit off. There's something that you're resisting. There are some things that need to be healed. Now, I know I use this word healed, and I know that some of you guys might be like, what the heck does Blaire talk about when she says healing or healed? And you know what? I used to be just like you. I used to take all these different healing training workshops because I was always drawn to it. And a lot of the workshops were about healing people's bodies, their health. So I learned all of this about the body, but I was never really interested in it. And what my gift was, which I had to figure out on my own, no one was doing training about this stuff, but my gift is emotional healing. I was always able to tap into someone's emotional state, into their heart, and be able to tell what's going on with them. What's going on as far as if they're dealing with sadness or loneliness, or they have anger that's stored, or there's frustration. And this would be for people who are like walking around all chipper and like, oh, life is great and everything's so wonderful. And I'd be like, no, that's not what I'm picking up in your energy field. So this was something that I had to pick up on. This is something that I had to figure out on my own, that this was my special gift. We all have special gifts. So when I'm talking about healing, I'm talking about that when you go through life, we get wounded. We're born into this world, perfect, beautiful babies, human beings, and then as we go through life, we get wounded. And this is part of our journey. This happens to everybody. And most likely, with everybody, it happens in your childhood. So what I was going to say is most likely it happens by family members, but it could happen so you're not brought up by family members and you're brought up by somebody else. So the wounding can happen anywhere, but it usually happens in your childhood. And you grow up with these beliefs about how the world is and how people treat you and how you're supposed to look at yourself and whether you're accepted by people or whether you're made fun of or whether you don't belong. And these are things that I call wounds or scars. And there's things that need to be healed. So how does this come into play with relationship? Because, all right, I could see that. Okay, you're talking about my childhood. What does this have to do with when I'm grown up and I have an older adult relationship? Well, most of us are really children in adult bodies. So even though we get older, we still are walking around with the wounds of our childhood, those old thoughts from our childhood, those thoughts that aren't serving us, these negative thoughts, these negative feelings, these negative ways of behaving, and we go into life, although we look like an adult, we're really a child inside, and we're wounded because we're hurt. Things happen, again, in our childhood that weren't good, that hurt us. So we get into a relationship, and what happens in a relationship? Well, we are going to get hurt again because we are wounded, and we are here to heal ourselves. So that might explain to you why you were in a shitty relationship, because that relationship was trying to get you to heal. But what happened was it caused you a lot of pain, and maybe the relationship, most likely the relationship did not work out. And then people get out of their relationship, and then they usually say, well, not everybody, but a lot of people say, I kind of want to be in love again. I have this daydreamy vision of what it's like to be in a relationship, a happy relationship. I see it on movies. I see maybe other people have it. I'm not sure, but I really would like to have someone in my life, but I'm afraid of going back out there and getting hurt again. I'm afraid of them coming off all nice, and then I see their true colors, and then I'm already hooked, and then I get hurt, and I don't want to be hurt again, and I need to protect myself, and then, okay, well, you're being smart, and you keep yourself out of a relationship, right, because you want to protect yourself. So that is logical to keep yourself out of a relationship if you're getting hurt in relationships. But the idea here is that when you notice these things that hurt you in a relationship, that's when you want to go and take a deep dive, a look into yourself to see, okay, well, what can I heal? What are my beliefs here that are causing me pain? What is going on here? What am I attracting? What kind of partner did I attract into my life that's causing me this pain? Because in any situation, any relationship you're presented in, it's not like that person is necessarily bad. What happens is your energy and then his or her energy combine with yours, and you create a unique relationship that is special to you guys. And that is, again, a unique blend that Spirit is helping put together to help you guys both heal your wounds. Now, most people don't work in partnership to help heal each other's wounds together. which is not really your partner's job to help you heal your wounds. This is you helping you through the relationship heal yourself. Are you following me here? This might be a little heavy stuff sometimes. I'm trying to break it down. So this is stuff for you to heal. So basically what I'm getting at here is that when you get out of a relationship, the idea then is to look at things, negative thoughts that came up for you, insecurities that came up for you, and you are to be looking at them and then healing them. Now, I am a big fan of working with a healer or a teacher, and I am both of them. And the reason why I am so passionate about this is because this is what really accelerated my journey into healing. This is what really accelerated my love life being turned around, because I started off being what I thought was really old and still single and not knowing how to find love. I was doing all the traditional things like looking online, and it wasn't working for me. And I was really frustrated because I was doing Love Guru at the time. I've been doing this for a while. This is what I am on earth here to do. So I was doing this, and I had a knack for sharing this wisdom with other people, but I either wasn't applying it to my life or it wasn't working. So what happened was Spirit stepped in and started showing me the way, and I allowed myself to be led. And then a teacher came into my life. Well, actually, that's around the time when a teacher came into my life. And then after that, a healer came into my life. And then with those two people combined, my life got turbocharged. And I worked with them on a weekly basis. I would have sessions, and then these things would be revealed, and my perspective on my life would completely change, and that's what we call healing. And then I would start acting differently because I was no longer the wounded bird. I was no longer that wounded person going out there and behaving in ways that no longer served me. So let's get back to this program here that I put together, because this is what addresses this Getting Back Out There program. Again, you can find it on my website, loveguru.net. And this is me taking you through the steps in a matter of 6 weeks. So it happens really fast, but I'm going to be working with you. This is not a group thing. And it has gone through my mind, and it was suggested, hey, do it as a group thing. But I really like working one-on-one with people, and I know that each of you guys have something special going on. And I know you also like your privacy. I'm a big person on my privacy, too. So when I'm sharing things about whatever's going on in my life, and I'm sharing this to a healer, I don't want other people listening on. So I'm extending that same courtesy to you. But, of course, if you want to do this program with a friend, you can, and I'm giving you a discount for that, just as an FYI. If you have a good friend that you want to go through this and you guys both want to get back out there and you want some healing. And basically how this program works is that it is 6 weeks that I'm taking you through an agenda. You're going to come to the calls, or if you are in South Florida, I'll work with you in person. And each week we will meet, and we will talk about, session 1 will be a discussion about what happened in your last relationship. Let's discuss those fears or those things that came up that was a terrible experience. Because, again, many people stuff this stuff down. If you stuff it down, what's going to happen? You're going to go back out there and you're going to get into a relationship, the same one like the last. And I see it over and over again. You really need to go through healing at this time. We're in this special energy. The world has changed. The energy in the world has changed. And I'm sure that you have felt this, whether conscious of it or not. But there is a great call for our human bodies to be healed, to be living in this world healed, walking on earth, which is a state of enlightenment. After you go through years and years of this, you get to a state of enlightenment once you heal all your past, all your wounds, the past gunk. And I'm happy to say that I am in that place. I've been there for several months, and it came from doing a lot of healing work. And it's not always pretty. It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of strength. But I was determined to get clean. That's how I look at it. Get clean. I wanted to live a certain type of life, this life, and that's what I'm stepping into now. All these doors are opening for me, which I look at as gifts from the universe because I did all this healing work. But with this program, it's kind of an intro to healing work, and it's a kind of a quicker way to get you out there, again, in 6 weeks. So we're going to uncover these fears. We're going to kind of go digging into your wounds. And if you have the courage and strength to go through this, then I'm happy to guide you through it. And then the next weeks that follow over this 6-week program, I'm going to be teaching you lessons on how to date differently, on how to learn the lessons that you needed to learn from these past relationships that did not work out so that you don't create the same type of relationship again. Because if you're walking around out there and you're just going from one relationship to the next, maybe a couple of months break in between, and you're not doing this deep dive into yourself, well, don't be surprised when you end up in a relationship with the same type of partner. It's going to happen. Guaranteed. I could guarantee that. Because until you get these lessons, Spirit is going to keep bringing them to you so that you learn. Because, again, you're here to learn. And you can have a happy relationship. You can have a fun experience. It can be fulfilling, but you need to do the healing work first. And there's no way around it. And I think that that's the unfortunate thing when so many people put their profiles up on Match or JDate or eHarmony or whatever, Kakakuku, whatever website, and you're not doing that internal work. This is an internal job. So in this program, we're doing the internal stuff, and we're doing the external stuff because I don't want you getting hurt out there, and there's no reason for you to be attracting the same type of relationship. And all what you need is some different ways to go about dating, different ways of doing things, different ways of, quote, interviewing a partner. And many people don't do this, or they don't know how to do it, or the anxiety builds of, oh, my God, this person's so great, and let me rush into this relationship because if I don't move forward, and maybe you're feeling pressure from him or her to commit, that happens a lot because it's their anxiety too, coupled with your anxiety or codependency is going on, There is so much anxiety and fear going on that we get into relationships so quickly before we're really getting to know this person, before we're really checking in on how we feel about this person, before we're really seeing their true colors. Again, that's about getting to know them. Before we know it, we've hooked up, had sex, we're hanging out all the time with them. They're staying over at our place. We're staying over at their place. And then what happens? Months down the line, years down the line, it's like, oh, shit, what's going on here? What kind of relationship am I in? This is not good. I'm not happy, and I'm stuck. And, oh, no, this is the same type of relationship I was in before. And that's the sad part because, you know what? More time is wasted, and now you got to do it again. So again, it's a reminder from Spirit saying, hey, are you going to look at the stuff that's going on within? Are you going to look at what's going on, what part you are playing in this relationship that creates the same patterns? That's what is coming to your awareness that needs to be healed. So again, I will say that you can have a relationship that you dream of, but it does take work. And I'm not talking about work as in working hard in the relationship, and I'm not talking work as in working hard looking through dating profiles online or going on tons of blind dates or setups. I'm not talking about that work. I'm talking about the work when you sit your ass on the couch and you take out your notebook and you journal and you sit there in silence and you think about all the things that scare the shit out of you in whatever relationship you were in, things that made you feel uncomfortable, and those hurtful feelings. And again, many of us try to avoid that silence. We keep ourselves so busy with work or with plans with our friends, or watching TV or playing video games. I don't know. I don't know why that came up. Whatever guys out there are listening, and yeah, I'm being a little bit biased because I don't really think girls play video games that much, but whatever you're doing to distract yourself, that's what many people do. And that is exactly, that's escaping yourself. And again, we are here to have a deep relationship with ourselves. It's not about finding someone to love us and for us to just say, oh, I don't need to love myself, or yeah, sure, I love myself, but what the heck does that even mean? And that's the thing, that's so cliche. People like saying that. Oh, I need to love myself. Yeah, that sounds cool, but what does that really mean? Do you know? I know. I'm happy to teach you that. And that's what we're going through in this program. Another thing on what we're going through with this program is how to set up boundaries. That's another one of those trendy cliche sayings. Oh, set up boundaries when you date. Do you even know what that means? What is a boundary that you're setting up when you're dating? Can you think of one? Probably not. Whenever this comes up when I'm working with my students, they have no idea. They have no idea. They can name some things, but it's very fuzzy. Now, no fault to them. Hey, I was there too. I'm still learning. Basically, I'm getting firmer and firmer with my boundaries. I need to be protecting more and more of my time and my energy. Why? The busier I get, I need to be protecting my time and my energy. Not everyone is allowed to get close to me. I used to allow everybody in close to me. Why? Because, again, this was one of my wounds. This is how I was brought up to be. That everybody gets to know what's going on in my personal life, and everyone gets to be my best friend, even if they treat me like shit. Now, this is not obvious things. These things happen. That's the thing about relationships. They're very sneaky. Obviously, if someone's calling you curse words, then you know they're an asshole and you don't want to hang out with them and they're not nice and whatever. But in relationships, these things are really subtle on how people will emotionally abuse one another. And that's why we need boundaries, and that's why we need to be aware of these patterns that we fall into, that you fall into when you get into a relationship. So I am getting close to time here. I wanted to thank you for listening. Once again, you can go check out loveguru.net, and the program is Getting Back Out There program. It's 6 weeks where I work one-on-one with you. It's like a class in a way that you come and with your notebook and you take notes. There's going to be handouts because, hey, in the end, one of my roles here is I'm a teacher. I'm a spiritual teacher. So I come to class with an agenda. And this is a very structured program. And I'm going to help you through exercises. And then you're going to leave the call, the session, whether it's on the phone or in person, and you're going to have work to do that week to get you on track, to get you back out there, and in a way that you're not going to be hurt again, in a way that you're not going to fall into the same relationship patterns that you fell into before because you have gone through this healing. So I think that that's all what I wanted to share with you today, and hopefully I gave you something to think about. If you'd like to reach me, you can contact me through the website as well. Again, it's loveguru.net, and feel free to find me on Facebook. I have 2 profiles on there, and you're welcome to join either one or both or whatever. And I'm on Twitter too, although I don't hang out on there that much. And that's Love Guru Blaire. So I send you lots and lots of love, and I wish you the best in love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Love, Life, Heart Confessions with intuitive heart healer, the love guru, Blaire Allison. Blaire can be found on the web at loveguru.net. You can also connect with Blaire on Facebook and Twitter. See you there.